The lights in the debate hall burned bright, cutting through the quiet murmurs of an expectant audience. The air was thick with tension, one of those nights when every word, every pause, every raised eyebrow could tilt the balance of a nation's mood. At center stage stood two men from very different eras of American politics, Mitt Romney, the polished veteran with decades of experience and a reputation for precision, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the passionate reformer whose voice had ignited both admiration and controversy across the country. When the moderator turned toward Kennedy with a sharp question about his proposed economic reform plan, Kennedy leaned forward slightly, his hands clasped on the podium, his tone calm yet resolute. "The numbers are clear," he began. "If we redirect just 2% of the current military budget into small business reinvestment and infrastructure, we could create over 1.2 million sustainable jobs in under 3 years." A ripple moved through the audience. Some nodded, others frowned. But Romney's expression didn't change until he leaned in toward his microphone and said in his even, confident tone, "Mr. Kennedy, I admire your passion. But those numbers, they just don't add up." The hall erupted in murmurs again. It wasn't said cruelly, it was the kind of line Romney was famous for, firm, measured, and grounded in the image of economic expertise. He adjusted his tie, looked to the moderator, and added, "You can't build credibility on math that doesn't make sense." Kennedy didn't react right away. He looked down at his notes, then slowly lifted his eyes back to Romney. There was no anger, only focus. "Governor," he said quietly, "would you give me 60 seconds to explain?" The moderator hesitated but nodded. "Go ahead." Kennedy picked up a marker and moved toward the large digital board behind them, something no one expected him to do. "Let's do the math together," he said, writing a few simple numbers in clean strokes. The U.S. defense budget this year is roughly $850 billion. 2% of that is $17 billion. The average infrastructure project creates 13,000 jobs per $1 billion spent. 17 times 13,000 equals. He paused, letting the silence fill the room as he finished the calculation. 221,000 jobs directly, he said, and historically, infrastructure jobs have a multiplier effect about 5.5 times due to local economic ripple effects. That brings the total to just over 1.2 million. The audience grew still. Cameras zoomed in on Romney, whose eyebrows rose slightly as he leaned forward, following Kennedy's math on the screen. Kennedy turned back toward him, voice low but steady. "Governor, I didn't make up these numbers. They're not mine, they're America's. They come from economists at MIT, Harvard, and the Congressional Budget Office. All I did was put them together." Romney crossed his arms, the flicker of a smile appearing, not the condescending kind, but one of